What's up, guys? Beer here back at the Fantasy Bar. 6 of my favorite plays for Tuesday night, including a bunch of my favorite mid-range and value plays, some correlation plays for the games I'm targeting tonight, and a ceiling play without the ceiling price. Who is it? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Tuesday edition, Beers Daily Fantasy 6-pack. Good to be back here in the Fantasy Bar once again, talking NBA hoops, covering, as always, FanDuel, DraftKings, and Yahoo with 6 of my favorite plays fresh off the tap for you. Hope everybody had a good Monday night. Before we get into the plays for Tuesday, guys, remember, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you get notified when the videos are coming out. We're doing 2 a week right now, kind of picking those schedules where there's a lot of games like tonight. Also, if you enjoy your time at the Fantasy Bar, as I always say, the tip jar is that thumbs up button. Make sure you hit that. Take a second, guys. Really helps us out there. And make sure you get over to FanDuel and play in the single entry series. Now, limited spots available. Nice $100 buy in there. Maybe not for everybody, but if you're playing one lineup, throw it in there. Everybody's on a level playing field. Tons of prizes available there. And remember, this is 6 weeks of contests. You don't have to play every single night, but your top 4 scores count for the week, and whoever comes out on top after that week gets a chance at $30,000 in prizes, $10,000 prize, grand prize for that winner at the end, on top of what you're going to win playing these tournaments. So a bigger buy-in tonight, that means a smaller field. I will be playing in that contest, so if you want to play against the Beer Man, get over there, enter your lineup in the single entry series presented by RotoGrinders. Just look for the RotoGrinders logo. That baby will fill up fast, so get your spot today. All right, let's get into some plays I'm looking at for tonight. Let's start at point guard, shooting guard, Terry Rozier of Charlotte. So injuries are going to be the story here, as it has been for the last couple weeks and almost the whole season here. But we look at Charlotte. No Devontae Graham tonight, questionable, probably not going to play. Malik Monk out, suspended. So that's going to mean good things for Terry Rozier. We run the numbers here on our Court IQ tool, which you can find on RotoGrinders.com, and the usage jumps up to 26.4% for Terry Rozier here. There's going to be some value available for Charlotte as well, but Rozier playing a ton of minutes right now, 35, 36, 38 minutes. Guy's going to play a boatload of minutes here, especially without Graham and Monk, and the Spurs, not the Spurs of old. This is a team that doesn't play a ton of defense, especially at the point guard position. Dejounte Murray's had his moments as a defender, but you never know where those minutes are going to be for the Spurs. But overall, 9th most fantasy points allowed to the point guard position. So Rozier been up and down, no doubt. I love this spot for him. They're thin at those guard spots. I think he has a big game here tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. All right, let's go to the other side of that game. Let's correlate here with power forward center Trey Lyles of the Spurs. So, once again, no LaMarcus Aldridge, no Jakob Poeltl tonight for the San Antonio Spurs, so they're going to be thin on bigs. And if you've hung out at the Fantasy Bar, you know we like bigs against Charlotte, especially athletic bigs, guys that can get up and down the floor. Trey Lyles certainly fits the bill here, so we're going to lock him in. This has been a good spot for us. Just find Charlotte, find who the big is they're playing against, and lock him in. And I know, 3rd game in 4 nights for the San Antonio Spurs. That is a concern for some people, but less of a concern for me when you're going against a team that's bottom 3 in defensive efficiency, fantasy points allowed, defense versus archetype. I could go on and on and on here. The point is, great matchup here. Trey Lyles playing a ton of minutes right now with the injuries there. Lock him in here again at low 5s prices and only $14 over on Yahoo. All right, we saved you some money. Let's spend up a little bit here at small forward, power forward, Brandon Ingram of New Orleans. So this is about the best spot you could ask for. A game against Minnesota, and it shows in the numbers. New Orleans projected to score almost 130 points in this one. That's a jump of almost 14 over their season average, one of the biggest leaps you're going to see in any game of the season. They also get the biggest pace up spot, obviously, against this Minnesota team. There's lots of ways you can go with New Orleans here. That's the intriguing part. I think a lot of people are going to go Zion. No issues with that. Some of the guards, no issues with that at all. You want to stack this team up, go for it. I'm going to go with Brandon Ingram, who I think will be the forgotten man out of this group. Had a great game the last time these two teams played. I know there was no Zion in that one, but when you go over 50 against an opponent, when you have a projected total for 130, a pace-up spot, I think there's plenty of room for multiple New Orleans players to go crazy here in this game. I'm going Brandon Ingram, expecting him to be lower owned then Zion and the group, but any of them playable here. Brandon Ingram in a great spot against the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right, let's go back to the mid-range at point guard, Shake Milton of the Sixers. So Shake, no stranger to the fantasy bar. We had him in here last week. He's been very good to us. And when you take Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid out of that lineup, there's a ton of usage to go around. And Shake's been one of the guys that's helped pick up the slack. Obviously, Tobias Harris, Al Horford, guys like that are going to be important. But let's not forget no Josh Richardson tonight as well. So it's not only the studs, they're missing another guard there. So I'm expecting Shake to continue to play big minutes. And he's really thrived in this new role, averaging over 42 DraftKings points a game here over the last 3. And the Lakers, a good matchup here for point guards. Bottom 10 in both defensive efficiency allowed and fantasy points allowed to the point guard position. So price is going up. I think that may scare people away. Don't be one of those people. Shake Milton, still a great value. If it comes anywhere near that 40 fantasy points, again, we're talking an easy 6-7x return on DraftKings and a 6-7, potentially 8x return on FanDuel. Locking in some Shake Milton tonight against the Lakers. All right, let's stay in that price range. Killing the mid-range here today with shooting guard, small forward Norman Powell of the Raptors. So this one we'll have to keep a close eye on. Fred VanVleet, questionable for tonight. Serge Ibaka, also questionable. If Fred VanVleet misses once again, love this spot for Norman Powell. Playing a lot of minutes here. Kind of been the theme of the show here. Injury situations, minutes, and Powell 38 minutes per game and almost 32 DraftKings points per game over his last 2 games with these injuries here. So kind of like Shake Milton, the price jumped up a little bit, especially on DraftKings at $5,700. That may scare the casual player away. Now, that's too much for Norman Powell. I was paying $3,500 for him. I don't want to pay $5,700 for him. Let's not fall into that trap. Let's look at what's happening now. And again, we're seeing the minutes, we're seeing the production. I see a matchup with Phoenix that multiple Toronto Raptors could get it done with. I could have added 3 Raptors in here tonight, maybe 4 against this Phoenix team, but we'll limit it to 1, and that one being Norman Powell here. As long as Fred VanVleet is out, if he's in, we'll make the adjustments. Check on Twitter and on the comment section of the video, but if he's out, locking in Norman Powell against the Phoenix Suns. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for Tuesday night, but before we do that, guys, we're going to continue to say thank you for watching the video, for your thumbs up, for subscribing to the channel with our Beast of the Night contest. Absolutely free to play. All you got to do, get in the comment section below the video and your best guess on fantasy points on FanDuel tonight. For my Beast of the Night, the closest guess is going to win themselves 3 free days of RotoGrinders Premium. Gives you access to everything, all the sports we have, all the information. Great if you're not a premium subscriber, gives you a chance to check it out, and I promise you, you will like what you see. So, get 3 free days. All you got to do is guess fantasy points on FanDuel for my Beast. So let's take a look. My favorite play for Tuesday night. You know, Matt's the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. We're going to go to the other side of that Toronto-Phoenix game. We're going to lock in center DeAndre Aten, my favorite play of the night, and tonight's Beast of the Night. So, Toronto been very good against centers when you just look at the surface, but easy Matt says, hey, no Marcus Gasol here tonight, who we know is a great defender at that position. Serge Ibaka, questionable for tonight. Even if he plays, I still like DeAndre Aten. If he's out, smash spot here for Aten. We'll get to that in a second. But Aten been very consistent here of late. 4 of his last 5 games have been at least 20 points and at least 9 rebounds. So we pretty much lock in a double-double here. And when we go to lineup HQ here on RotoGrinders and look at the numbers, Aten projected for the highest ceiling on this slate over any of the other guys, over LeBron, over Anthony Davis, over any of the other studs on this slate. DeAndre Aten projects for a massive ceiling here on tonight's game without the high ceiling price. Yes, you have to pay mid-8s for him. I think it's a steal here for DeAndre Aten. Don't look at those red numbers for Toronto. Let's look at who's playing now, and guys like Rodney Hollis-Jefferson, Chris Boucher are not going to be able to slow this guy down. Even if Ibaka plays, still love DeAndre Aten. Easily my favorite play for Tuesday night and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that'll wrap us up for Tuesday night in the Fantasy Bar. As always, any comments, questions, feedback, that comment section is there for you. You can also follow me on Twitter at Beermakersfan. And don't forget your guess in the comment section for fantasy points on FanDuel for DeAndre Aten for your shot at 3 free days of RotoGrinders Premium. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut. Best of luck here tonight, guys. We'll be back on Friday with another edition here from the Fantasy Bar. Make sure you get in that single entry series. I'll see you in that tournament. and we'll see you back here on Friday. Good luck, guys.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist.